Temperature 24, dew point 19. Current altimeter is 299er1. Arriving and departing runway 15. Jorge Chavez International Information Echo, 20 Zulu, winds are 171 at 9 knots. Visibility 6 miles. Sky condition VFR. Temperature 24, dew point 19. Current altimeter is 299er1.
We're rocking and rolling.
Arriving and departing runway 15. Jorge Chavez International Information Echo.
We're listening to the ATIS here in Lima, Peru.
6 miles.
Oh man, this VR is smooth without having another window in here.
24,
I decided to get rid of the chat window. It's either going to come in through Twitch like my app will do it, or it's not.
Jorge Chavez International Information.
Let's get this puppy started.
Jorge Chavez International Information Echo. 20 Zulu, winds are
Fire up an engine immediately to get battery going.
Visibility 6 miles. Sky condition VFR. Temperature 24, dew point 19. Current altimeter is 299er1. Arriving and departing runway 15.
We're going to load our flight plan from SimBrief.
20 Zulu, winds are 171 at 9 knots. Visibility 6 miles. Sky condition VFR. Temperature 24, dew point 19. Current altimeter is 299er1.
We are departing on runway 15 with the PACL 3 departure and the coolest transition.
Visibility 6 miles. Sky condition VFR. Temperature 24, dew point 19. Current altimeter is 299er1.
And our arrival is RNAV, runway 10, Y, with transition of Lima Papa 623. Execute that. Alright, let's do our performance. Oh, I forgot the weight thing. Shoot.
Sky condition VFR. Temperature 24.
Okay, well, our zero fuel weight, though, is, as I peek through into my notes, we're going to put it anyway, 1, 2, 1, 2, 0 for the zero fuel weight.
Visibility 6 miles.
It's 24 degrees.
Temperature 24.
Dry. Just missed the wind.
Current altimeter is 299er1. Arriving and departing runway 15.
For the altimeter.
Jorge Chavez International Information Echo. 20 Zulu, winds are 171 at 9 knots. Visibility 6 miles.
71 with 9 knots. Okay.
Temperature 24.
That's enough for the ATIS. So we have that. Let's send our V speeds here. What are we looking at? VR at 100 even. Perfect. That's nice. So complete. Let's have a quick look at our flight plan here. I like filling in this one here, so that's all looking good. Our transition always shows up twice, so we're going to nuke the additional one. And we're going to get rid of that discontinuity as well. Perfect. Let's see if we can jump through these on the map real quick here. So we're runway, the airport. That's our departure. Just making sure there's not any weird like loops or some nonsense in there. There's just a couple waypoints that sound the same that always confuse me on this one here. And there's our approach. Excellent. Go all the way back. Sweet. Happy Wednesday, BJ. Can you say something again and see if I just missed seeing it or if my app didn't send it? I probably just missed it because I was literally heads down. I suppose I could send my own test, to be honest. There it is, saying something. Perfect. Yeah, it doesn't come down into the cockpit for some reason. It stays up fairly high. We'll get the right engine started. So our flight plan is all set. Guten Abend, indeed. Hello, Sean. So everything here is looking good. Let's bring up my checklist here real quick. We've already started the engines, but let's make sure we're not missing anything. We're missing the lights, of course, so we'll get the lights on, including the taxi lights, because that's the next step. Passenger briefing, sure. Well, we'll play that when we get a bit closer. Exterior lights is required. Climate control off. Everything's good. Throttles, engines are coming up. Avionics, climate control to normal. Come on. Passenger lights, safety button.
May I have your attention, please? At this time, please.
Let's actually go outside and check the rudder, because I literally have a new rudder. Oh, it's butter smooth. We're all good here. For taxi, I think we are ready for taxi. Let's see if we can bring up the charts, and these charts are flipping amazing. There we are. We're going to be departing runway 15, which is up there. So we'll probably have to taxi via taxiway Alpha. Probably be a very simple one. Let's see if we can get ourselves some IFR clearance. Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike, ready to copy IFR clearance.
Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike is cleared to Sierra Lima Lima Papa, climb via the PAKOL3 departure, with the coolest transition, then as filed. Expect departure runway 15. Climb to flight level 340 via the departure. Expect higher clearances 20 minutes after departure.
Level 340.
Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike is cleared to Sierra Lima Lima Papa, climb via the PAKOL 3 departure, with the coolest transition, then as filed. Climb to flight level 340 via the departure. Expect higher clearances 20 minutes after departure. Squawk 5206.
Okay, I'm actually going to
Foxtrot Charlie Mike read back correct.
try to follow the departure.
2991 contact ground on 121.9 when ready to taxi. Have a good afternoon.
I wonder if VNAV will actually take us up.
Ground on 121.9.
I'll try that.
Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike.
So one of the really cool features of this this modded version of the CJ4 is that, yes, thank you, BJ, the pedals are nice. One of the cool features is that the VNAV actually works with these altitude restrictions, and if we look at the departure legs, we actually have to hit the first waypoint between 4,000 and 6,000, and then we have to stay below 9 to the next one, and then over 10,000. So there are some restrictions here. And from what I can see, it actually looks like the autopilot has picked up on those. So we're going to try, usually climb in vertical speed, or FLC rather, in this aircraft. So we'll do that, but we'll see if we can use VNAV to climb. I've used VNAV to descent, and it's amazing. We'll see if it also works for the climb. Get our terrain on. Oh, that's one thing I still need to get. We can worry about the minimums later. Let's get our taxi clearance here. Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike, ready to taxi.
Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike, taxi to runway 15.
Taxi to runway 15. Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike.
Oh, they're not even telling us how to taxi.
Okay. 1600 is ready to push off at Alpha.
1600. Start up and push back up runway 07 and come ready to taxi.
Start up, push back and start up approved runway 07. We'll call you for drill.
That's correct.
just getting our pushback here. Which we do not need the parking brake on for anymore. Don't roll forward, don't do that. I've added more aircraft and stuff on the ground. It's just a setting. In VR, it turns out that was all like turned off, and that explains why so many of the airports we were at just were kind of empty. So I've turned them on at the cost of some frames, I'm sure. But I mean, you got to have some other aircraft sitting on the ground, otherwise it's super boring. We'll just get him to push us back nicely until we got some room here. Definitely overcast. We're going to have some clouds getting out of Peru here. But I think our approach into Bolivia takes us right over Lake Titicaca. And it's going to be very, very scenic, I think. I believe Sean already gave me a sneak peek at that fact about that lake, and it's pretty cool. So, let's see. This is probably good. Thank you very much for the pushback. See you next time. Let's see if I can actually taxi with these pedals. I may have to actually pull them forward a bit. I've got them pretty far back. I may have to pull them forward a bit, or I just have to get used to controlling them with like my toes, which is actually maybe not a bad idea. So this airport, I think, was a mod updated. So a lot of them don't have these gate numbers on the ground here, which is actually really nice to have this, because if it ever says like, hey, you got to go to gate 20, there's actually something to see. I love that we can see ourselves on these charts now. I'm disappointed that we didn't actually get taxi clearance on a specific taxiway. They're just like, just go there. I guess it's kind of like, well, there's only one end of this runway here, so it's not rocket science. Genius, figure it out. Which I suppose that's fair. These pedals are much smoother than the Logitech ones that I had before. Oh, and that's just not where I wanted to go. Whoopsies. Abort. This is the taxiway. Maybe they should have given me better instructions. Maybe I'm not that smart. So a lot of the stuff we're going to see here, this is like modded in. The helicopters that are parked there. Don't remember the name of the guy who did it on flightsim.to, but he modeled in those parked helicopters over there. By the way, I believe I figured out the issue I was having with the Oculus Quest not seeing the NVIDIA Shield to cast to. Oculus support actually stepped in on their subreddit and made a suggestion, which I think might have been a good one. It had to do with the way my Wi-Fi network is laid out, and apparently the Quest cannot handle dual band SIDs, dual band SSIDs very well. Okay, so we can probably do away with the charts. Back to our checklist here. We are taxiing. Let's play our takeoff briefing.
May I have your attention, please?
Over 607, disconnect the beam gate number Alpha 13.
Alright, disconnect the beam Alpha 13, Southwest 607.
Secure luggage and
Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike contact tower on 118.1. Enjoy your afternoon.
Tower on 118.1, citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike.
They hold short runway.
Okay, ice protection systems. Well, we'll see. Definitely need to get the pitos on. Might be a little wet up there. Let's put the anti-ice stuff on. One less thing to worry about. Seats or flaps. We're going to set the flaps for takeoff. I'm going to set the trims. Oh, the trims are set weird. Why are the trims set like that? That's bizarre. Okay. Speed brakes. Crew briefing complete. Radar is required. Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike, ready for departure runway 15.
Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike, winds are 171 at 9 knots, cleared for takeoff. Runway 15 squawk 5206.
Cleared for takeoff. Runway 15 squawking 5206. Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike.
Southwest 1273, you ready for departure? Affirmative. Line up and wait.
Alright,
Runway 7.
checklist complete.
1273, line and wait, 07 Southwest.
Let's get ourselves on the actual runway here.
United 1269, sorry about the delay. Do you have your company 737 on shore final inside?
United 1269, affirmative.
Roger that. Behind the landing traffic, line up and wait behind. United 1269.
Behind the landing traffic, line and wait, United 12.
Okay. With that said, I think we're good to go. We'll see how we'll deal with this autopilot thing here. Take off power. Engines are on. Here we go.
United 1269, the wind is 080 degrees 25, passing 35, runway 07, clear for takeoff.
Runway 07, clear for takeoff, United 1269.
Oh, I can actually make little fine adjustments with the rudder. That's 100. Let's rotate. We're off. Gear. Flaps. So let's see what happens if I try to engage VNAV here. We'll see. Autopilot is on. V pitch. Toggle VNAV, there we go.
Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike, contact Lima Center on 128.1. Have a good afternoon.
Center on 128.1. Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike. Center Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike, climbing to flight level 340.
Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike, good afternoon. Squawk 5206.
Squawk 5206. Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike.
I don't believe that VNAV works on the ascent. But I could be wrong. We'll see. If it levels us out near 6,000, then it is working. Otherwise, right now, it seems to just be holding my pitch, and I'm not sure why that is. I guess it does things differently than what I thought. So we are climbing pretty fast. So I'm going to disable that. I'm going to turn on flight level change. Climb at about 230. And I think I'm just going to go and I did go up. Yep, going up is good. Just we need to be below 6,000, like we're technically already over on this departure here. So that didn't really seem to work.
Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike, expedite descent to flight level 060.
Yeah, see?
Passing Sierra India Sierra Echo November.
Expedite descent to flight level 060. Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike.
Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike, maintain flight level 340.
And this is where it keeps getting itself confused. So here we have to stay below 9,000.
Altitude.
So let's set it to like
Altitude.
8,800. Yes, 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 yes. We're going too fast. It's very easily rectified, though. I should probably just hand fly this part to make it easier, to be honest. But I wanted to kind of actually follow these waypoint restrictions. So now for the next waypoint, we have to be over.
Charlie Mike, resume climb to flight level 340.
Resume climb to flight level 340. Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike.
Control Delta 37, give the Barrel 1 Papa 35.
Delta 387. Good afternoon, rated contact here, Barrel 1 Papa.
Because now we are no longer restricted.
Delta 387, right.
This beeping sounds terrible, but it's not really. It's gonna solve itself here in a second. There it goes. It's just as the autopilot is trying to, because it doesn't have an auto throttle, so every time it levels off at these speeds, it just starts going super quick. Takeoff checklist is complete. After takeoff, landing gear is up, flaps are up, throttles climb, yaw damper is on, autopilot on. Everything is looking good. And we're in the soup.
24.1.
24.1.
Climbing at 4,200 feet per minute. This thing is a literal rocket. Bolivia has half of the highest navigable lake in the world. Lake Titicaca, which is one of the deepest lakes in the world at 280 meters. Yeah, I guess the other half of it is in Peru, so it literally straddles the border. And I looked at our flight plan, and it does see us go like over that lake, and the arrival is over that lake, so... And I think we're going to have some clearer skies there, so hopefully we'll get to see it. Autopilot is working extremely well. We're exactly at 240 knots, climbing. It's beautiful when this thing works. It's very, very awesome. I'll have to look into how if VNAV can do... I don't think it can, because it went to V-pitch, and I don't know what V-pitch actually is, so I'll have to look into that at some point. They have a very good user guide. These guys that made this mod for this plane, the working title mod, they just announced that they are actually going to be working with Asobo and Microsoft on the core game, because they've done such a good job with this mod and some other mods for the Garmin displays that they're actually going to be working directly with Microsoft on future updates. Which is cool. Like, they basically formed their own studio and got hired. Guess we don't really need these panel lights on right now, but they do give like a nice orange glow. Have you watched the Filbert Flies video for this airplane? With the working title guys? It's like a 2-hour-long video, but it covers every single little detail. And I keep going back to it every time that I worry about it, and I'm like not sure what to do. I just look it up. Also, my tweet about importing from Navigraph. You mean the charts, or? Yeah, that Filbert Flies video is great.
Reduce speed 200 knots. 200 knots, Delta 573.
Having the Navigraph charts in here it's just really nice. Like, we can, for example, now we could, if we wanted to now, we could look at our approach chart, and I think it reads it automatically from Yes, they do. I mean, you're looking at it right here. This map is coming from Navigraph. It doesn't really import it into the plane, but like you link your account, you have to have a Navigraph account, which I already do anyway, so that's a paid thing. But you can now link it, and it gets all the stuff right in here. So I can look up the departure. Oh, these are actual Navigraph charts now. So they have SimBrief to import your flight plan, but the Navigraph, not for the flight plan, but just for the charts.
Right, 190 American 543.
Yes, it can import the flight plan. So I have my SimBrief pilot ID. That's how I can import my flight plan. And then Navigraph is linked so that I can look at the charts. And it's really, really amazing. You don't really need SimBrief because you can also import from the game itself, but it works pretty well from SimBrief. It seems like from SimBrief it does a pretty good job. But yeah, these charts are great. Like, we'll see them again later when we land, but you can scroll through. It's a little awkward in VR, but I can actually look exactly at, like, this is our approach chart. We're going to reach it at Lima Papa 623, so we're going to be at 18,000 feet, maximum speed of 200 knots. So like that's all stuff that I can now plan for by looking at these charts. And I could have done that before with like the Navigraph iPad app. But in VR, of course, I can't. I can never find the frickin' switch here to move the joystick to the right, though. For some reason, that just doesn't show up where it should. What I do is I plan my flight in Navigraph first, then I copy that route into SimBrief, and I also export from Navigraph into the flight simulator itself, which I mostly do for other aircraft, because I don't really need it for this one. But if I fly something else, of course I can't load stuff from SimBrief. So yeah, so I use Navigraph, and then I also have to load that into Pilot to ATC. But essentially, I start in Navigraph. Somehow my power got moved down. There we go. I start in Navigraph for the most part because it's really quick and easy. I have a look at the approaches and the departures there, so to make sure, because it's a nice visual look at making sure that I choose something that's appropriate and makes sense, and doesn't send me in like some really twisted and weird approaches and stuff like that. And then I put it into SimBrief mostly so that I can easily import it in here, but also because it gives me some calculations on fuel weights and stuff like that. Yeah, you can go from SimBrief to Navigraph as well, but I find planning in Navigraph appeals to me the most because it's the most visual. SimBrief is very, very text-based, very official looking, but there's a lot of stuff in there that's a little bit above my, maybe it's more realistic, but it shares all the same all the same routes, so maybe SimBrief creates routes based more on realistic air traffic, whereas Navigraph just chooses the shortest route using the correct airways. I don't know. But, so I go Navigraph to SimBrief, Navigraph to the game, Navigraph to Pilot to ATC. And then once I'm in this airplane, I import from SimBrief. I also load the flight plan into the game itself on the world map. But like I said, that's mostly because I'm used to doing that for planes that don't have SimBrief integration, right? Like this is the only one that can do that with SimBrief, so most of the time you can't do that. But the new Navigraph integration in this aircraft with the charts in the cockpit is awesome for anybody that does VR, or that doesn't, just for whatever reason, doesn't have the ability or desire to want to look at an iPad or another screen, or even just another window, like, I mean, I'm stuck in my VR headset here, so anything I can do inside the game itself is amazing. Oh, damn it, I have a stupid little smudge on my VR headset lens. I also got this cockpit livery that somebody made on flightsim.to, and it basically just makes the cockpit more black than this gray beige, a gray blue, and I like it better. It's not a realistic version because they don't make this in this color, but I wasn't a big fan of the blue-gray for some reason. I don't know, maybe I'll change my mind at some point, but I like the black a lot. Accidentally started on our descent checklist there.
Control, Delta 387, in the Barrow 1, Papa 35.
Delta 387, good afternoon, rated contact here, Barrow 1, Papa 210,000. Expect ILSD initial runway.
Delta 387, right.
One really awkward thing that I discovered the other day is that apparently if I use this dial to change my altitude without sometimes it ends up changing the sim rate, like the actual speed of time,
Citation
which is of course a problem.
Charlie Mike, climb and maintain flight level 410.
Climb and maintain flight level 410. Citation Fox.
So 410 is our cruising altitude today. So we just got clear to that, and then after that we can turn off flight level change. Well, it's going to turn itself off. I mean, we're flying pretty fast. We're flying at 387 knots right now, which is Mach 0.645. That's the one thing I was really torn, because VR is very immersive and I really like it, but it was a bit of a challenge at first, not being able to see anything else. It's still a bit of a challenge because I can't see Twitch chat. I mean, I wrote my own little app to get these messages into the game itself so I can see them in the cockpit. I'd love to be able to put like a Twitch chat in one of these screens down here. I should actually, I'm kind of tempted to look into that and see if that's possible. It probably would kill frame rate or something. See some pretty high mountains there peeking through the clouds. Considering that we are at 36,000 feet right now,
Yep,
those are some pretty tall mountains.
Yep, Blue 38 with you, 14.6, climbing flight level 180.
Yep, Blue 38, flying to flight level 340, and enable flight direct to Bravo Tango Oscar.
And climb to 340.
Look at these mountains, holy crap. Holy crap. I've seen people land on Everest in their silly little small planes, which is kind of ridiculous, but I mean, we're going to fly past Everest at some point, somewhere in that area. I think I did the math. I think there's about between 6 and 8 or so countries left here on this continent. We're going to Bolivia now. There's Chile, Argentina, Paraguay, Brazil, and then there's a couple of small ones further north. And then from there on, we're going to have like a really long ocean crossing to the African continent.
24-1, JetBlue 38, thank you.
There's actually like a really small island in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean that we're going to land on. That's kind of like halfway. I don't remember the name of it.
Reduce speed 200 knots.
But I'm really looking forward to that flight because that's something totally different.
Altitude.
Let's see here. MEM2. Yeah, that's annoying that it keeps loses track
And
of that.
Delta 573, contact 1975.
1975, Delta 573, good day.
Bye.
I think I do need to put like a... I'll have to figure something out. I would like to putting the Twitch chat into the game itself using Oculus's dash thing is... It really screws up the performance. And it doesn't work half the time anyway. So I gotta figure out a better way to get an eye on Twitch chat. Because when I see the messages pop in, it's great, but I can't scroll back to them if I miss it. So we've reached our cruising altitude. I guess that means we could turn our seatbelt signs off. Any passengers that would like to move around the cabin? Is there a passenger briefing cruise? I think there is. No, there's not. That's too bad. Now this is where this thing is going to start flying fast. We're going to have to pull back on the throttle a little bit here once we get to that red tape there, because we're at Mach 0.7 now. Just heard some Discord sounds. Let's see who's there. Hey. Dusty and Rumpo too, or just Dusty? I can't see. Okay. I know, I heard the sound, but I was in the middle of taking off anyways. Could you say something for a second? Okay. So your audio is not on stream. You're on private mode. Yeah, I heard the ding sound, because even if you mute Discord, you apparently still get the ding sounds when somebody joins or disconnects. It does. Does not seem right. I'm currently at 41,000 feet somewhere over Peru heading to Bolivia. It looks a lot like in Ghost Recon Wildlands down there.
American 546, contact 121.2.
21.2, American 254.
It would. Oh, you haven't yet? It's very short, too. Short, like half an hour, if that, because all you have to do is do a battleground and then talk to people in the helm. Yeah, BJ, I think so too. I think it's probably in the settings somewhere. I don't actually mind, I guess. It did let me know that they were in Discord, so that's kind of helpful, I guess. I keep forgetting to... I have to make a note of this. I have to change my volume for the pilot to ATC because it's too quiet. And I have to rebind my mute button for Discord to my push-to-talk button for pilot to ATC so that they don't hear me.
After Mavic, comply with the approach. Contact 1975.
1975, after Mavic, comply with the approach, American 2546.
You remember how much fun we had trying to put that ball in its place where it was supposed to be in the tower? You have to kick it in like 3 different places, and then you get like a different color, and eventually you get the Traveler one, of course. Okay, yeah. That's fun. But yes, the story stuff for Destiny 2 this week is quite good. I enjoyed it. Like, the story this whole season has actually been better because it hasn't just been in lore entries. You know, it's been told in these little cutscenes in the helm. It's been told in the Presage mission. I know there's way more stuff to read, and I'll watch that My Name is Spice video later. I haven't had time yet. Yeah, you should do it first. Play it first. How far along are you in Destiny 2, BJ? Like, roughly, like, what's your power, what's your season status? Because, yes, playing solo is not as much fun. I agree with you there, sure. But this season's been pretty good, I think. $12.60. Okay, you're not too far off then. Not too far off. I'm gonna go sit in the back seat for a little bit. All right. I'm just hanging out in the back of my airplane. It's actually not that interesting back here.
Control Delta 387, give the Barrel 1 Papa 35.
Delta 387, good afternoon, rated contact via Barrel 1 Papa 210,000.
Sean deleted Destiny.
Delta 387, right?
I suck at it, he said. He says he thinks he'll stick to non-first-person shooters. I'm having a little Destiny discussion here with Sean and BJ, who are watching my stream. Sean, there was a big sigh on the other end. Oh, you've been playing Battlefield 5, BJ? People still play that game, yeah. Do you remember that Berdu guy? Took screenshots in Battlefield a lot. He was like one of the, you know, I mean, I think back to like the quote-unquote heydays of the Battlefield community when there was lots of cool content creators and stuff. You'd take these really high-quality, cool screenshots. He still does that. He still does it. Takes really cool screenshots. I stumbled across it yesterday. Sean says, I suck at a game I don't like playing a game I suck at, or something like that. It's no fun when I suck at the game.
124.1.
24.1.
I know. I you know. Yeah, I know you're not, I mean, I know Sean's a console player anyways, but, like, I remember my struggles with Destiny on PS4. just because I hated that. I remember I bought like so much different crap to try to use my mouse and keyboard and all these different things, and it sort of worked and it didn't really work, but no, it wouldn't help him. No, I know, but I understand the feeling of this sucks and it's not fun, even though it's your own fault. But I also guarantee you, he hasn't watched a 3-hour video of the history of it. 4, okay. Yeah, I think I watched the 3-hour video when it was 3. And then I haven't watched the 4 because I've played the other hour.
Good afternoon, climb unrestricted to flight level 340.
Climb unrestricted, flight level 340, wish it 2599.
Yeah, fair enough. This time I'm going to try really hard not to fly for like 15 minutes and wonder why things are moving so slowly, and I realize that I've got the time cut down to like 25% of real time. Liar, Dusty. The other one must be reconnecting. He might have, yeah, that might be, you know that time you get when you get disconnected, you have some time to come back?
JetBlue 38. JetBlue 38 with you, 14-6, climbing flight level 180.
JetBlue 38, flying to flight level 340, and enable flight direct to Bravo Tango Oscar.
And climb to 340.
Yeah. Though it is also very difficult to kind of get into a game that's this established. Like, I remember, I mean, I started playing Destiny 1, what, like 6 or 8 months into it or something? Like, it had 1 or 2 expansions? Yeah. So, what was that, after year 1, or? Right, so I came in somewhere between 6 to 12 months or something. I know that the Dark Below, or whatever that was called, that was already out. And what was the other one before that? House of Wolves? Those 2 expansions were already out before I joined you. And even with that, it felt like there was a lot of stuff going on that I didn't know about yet. And that's like, what, 10% of what we have now in the history of the universe? Yeah. Well, even just as a percentage of like the overall things that have happened in the timeline, you know, a lot of, yeah, okay, 3%.
Reduce speed 200 knots.
200 knots, Delta 573.
Well, I don't know if Sean maybe doesn't come into Discord because he can't see us where we are. Like, maybe he doesn't know that we're here. Because he can't see this room. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be easy enough if you want me to do that. If he even wants to hang out. He may not want to hang out. I know, yes, yeah. This is true. Don't take my one viewer away. I know, I think it's because he's just, I mean, I guess he's always on his phone. I don't quite understand, I don't understand the Discord mobile life well enough. Yeah, I know. That much I know.
I'm Delta 573, contact 1975.
1975, Delta 573, good day.
Bye.
Didn't know it was possible, but they've made the clouds in Flight Simulator more beautiful than they were before. Yes, a little.
6 door right, heading 190.
Right, 190 American 25.
A little bit of before sleep flight time. It's not a bad way to end the night. I watched a guy do ATC, air traffic control, on VATSIM the other day on a stream before I went to sleep. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, this game is very relaxing. When I'm not fighting with the tech, I also find it quite relaxing, even flying. And I don't know if it's just this airplane, or I think I've gotten better at just managing stuff, so most of my tech problems are a thing of the past. We're only on 10.
American 546, contact 121.2.
Yes, actually, I wish he would have waited, because I picked up, there is a quest for doing the new light stuff or whatever, the stuff that they start you out with now, that we can pick up too, we can do. There's no rewards in there for us, I don't think, but I would have liked to have done it, you know, just for completionist's sake. But yeah, no, Destiny 2 is, or Destiny in general, has never been super friendly to new players. If you didn't have like somebody that could show you the ropes or tell you what to worry about, what not to worry about, it's more difficult.
200 knots on the Mavic. After Mavic, comply with the approach. Contact 1975.
1975, after Mavic, comply with the approach, American 2546.
Yeah, that, and also just somebody that can be like, you know what, this is what the the white boxes are, and the green boxes are, and the purple boxes are, and that's Glimmer. You don't have to go run to pick it up over there. You'll have enough later, and you know, stuff like that.
American 2547, descend out to 1-3000 and maintain 250 knots.
Send a 1-3000, 250 knots, American 2547.
I think you could probably learn enough about Destiny to be entertained without ever playing it. Just watch the videos, cartoons, comic books, whatever. There's a bunch of stuff out there. There's Dusty and we've bought books. I've got like 3 books that I haven't read. Yes, BJ, I did grab that new player part, the quest from the computer near the postmaster. I did. That's why I wanted to do it, because I kind of stumbled across it the other day. But I didn't want to do it by myself. I was saving it for Sean, and then he didn't. Chickened out.
American 2547, contact.
Actually, I think, Rumpo, we should make like a list of all the interesting, entertaining things that you say during our games, because that's what Sean's really missing out on. Is the things that have coined things like the Polish reach around and a variety of those things that, you know. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what the difference is. I feel like the Polish one is a little more aggressive. I can imagine that it's funny to wake up like in Destiny 1. I know exactly what battleground you're doing. Hunter's always hiding up top somewhere.
Control, Delta 387, give the Barrel 1 Papa 35.
Delta 387, good afternoon, rated contact via Barrel 1 Papa 10,000, expect ILS aiming to the runway.
Delta 387, right.
Grenade launcher kills in battlegrounds? Or total? This is one of the things that I hate and love about Destiny. It's like, oh, I can't do those on a Wednesday? Damn it! Yeah. No, the quest and bounty stuff has gotten quite a bit better than it used to be, that's true. Now, if they could just get rid of quests that have to have you competing with your teammates, that'd be nice. Alright, BJ, take care. Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out.
West 599, good afternoon, climb unrestricted to flight level 340.
Climb unrestricted, flight level 340, West 2599. JetBlue 38. JetBlue 38 with you, 14-6, climbing flight level 180. JetBlue 38, flying to flight level 340, and enable flight direct to Bravo Tango Oscar. And climb to 340. JetBlue 30, have contact control 141. 141, JetBlue 30, yeah, JetBlue 38, thank you.
But you missed the cool cutscene. So lesson is always do the weekly mission. Well, you know, to be fair, it's not super obvious that one's important, but.
Reduce speed 200 knots. 200 knots, Delta 573.
Don't let him rank shame you, Dusty. Well, you're like in the 60s, aren't you?
Contact 1975. 1975.
I thought, like, you and I are almost the same rank.
Bye.
Yeah. I think I'm 71 or something like that. Plenty of time to reach 100 while doing weekly stuff that we're doing. No, it comes pretty naturally if you just do the stuff. And I like it that, because I pick up some bounties, but I only pick up the bounties that I want to do. Like, it's like, oh, energy kills, cool. Or, you know, scout rifle kills. I'm already doing that anyway, so I'll grab those. But it's like, if it's like sword kills or bow kills or something, I'm like, nah, I'm not using those. I'm not gonna go out of my way to get those. Weekly playlist stuff seems to be good for that, if you have to do it anyway.
6 door right, heading 190.
Right, 190, American 546.
Do Gambit, that gives you gold. Do some showdown. One of the weekly things, you have to do a bunch of showdown shit. I did a bunch the other day. Didn't get very much progress though.
American 546, contact 121.2.
21.2, American 2546.
Where'd you get that briefcase there, Mr. Rumpo?
American 2546, maintain 200 knots until Mavic. After Mavic, comply with the approach. Contact 1975. 1975 after Mavic, comply with the approach. American 2546.
Yeah, I think week 2 or week 3 requires you to do like showdown. But it might be week 4, I don't know. But you remember it, but sure you did it.
American 2547, descend out to 3000 and maintain 250 knots.
Send to 13,000, 250 knots, American 2546.
American 2547, contact approach control 121.2 today.
21-2, thanks, American 2546.
Control, Delta 387, in the Burrow 1, Papa 35.
Delta 387, good afternoon, rated contact via Peru 1 Papa 210,000 feet, expect ILS Amy to the runway.
Delta 387, right?
United 16 for 124.1.
24.1.
West 599, good afternoon, climb unrestricted to flight level 340.
Climb unrestricted, flight level 340, West Jet 2599.
JetBlue 38. JetBlue 38 with you, 14-6, climbing flight level 180. JetBlue 38, flying to flight level 340, for naval flight clear to Bravo Tango Oscar. And climb to 340. JetBlue 30, now contact control 141511.
24-1, JetBlue 30, JetBlue 38, thank you. Reduce speed 200 knots.
200 knots, Delta 573.
And Delta 573, contact 1975.
1975, Delta 573, good day.
Bye.
Six door right, heading 190.
Right, 190, American 2546.
American 546, contact 121.2.
21.2, American 254. American 2546, maintain 200 knots until Mavic. After Mavic, comply with the approach. Contact 1975. 1975, after Mavic, comply with the approach. American 2546.
One of the worst things that can happen to you when you're using a VR headset is you get an itchy eyelash or something like that.
American 2547, descend out to 3000 and maintain 250 knots.
Center 3000, 250 knots, American Sky4.
American 2547, contact approach control 121.23.
21-2, thanks, American Sky4.
Control Delta 387 in the Barrel 1 Papa 35.
Delta 387, good afternoon, rated contact via Peru 1 Papa 210,000. Expect ILS aiming to the runway.
Delta 387, right?
Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike, expect the RNAV approach to runway 10 with the LP623 transition at El Alto International.
Expect the NAF approach to runway 10 with the LP623 transition. Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike.
United 16 for 124.1.
24.1.
Westjet 2599. Good afternoon. Climb unrestricted to flight level 340.
Climb unrestricted, flight level 340, Westjet 2599. JetBlue 38. JetBlue 38 with you, 14-6, climbing flight level 180. JetBlue 38, flying to flight level 340, and enable flight direct to Bravo Tango Oscar. And climb to 340.
Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike descend and maintain flight level 350.
Descend and maintain flight level 350. Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike.
JetBlue 30, now contact console 14611. 241, JetBlue 30, JetBlue 38, thank you.
Reduce speed 200 knots.
200 knots, Delta 573.
And Delta 573, contact 1975.
1975, Delta 573, good day.
Bye.
Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike contact LA PA Center on 123.9er. Have a good afternoon.
Center on 123.9er. Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike. Center Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike descending to flight level 350.
Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike, good afternoon. Squawk 5206.
Squawk 5206, Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike.
6 door right, heading 190.
Right, 190, American 546.
American 546, contact 121.1.
Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike descend and maintain flight level 290.
Descend and maintain flight level 290 citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike.
21.2 American 254.
Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike cleared for the RNAV approach to runway 10 with the LP623 transition.
Cleared for the RNAV approach to runway 10 with the LP623 transition citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike.
American 2546, maintain 200 knots until Mavic. After Mavic, comply with the approach. Contact 1975. 1975 after Mavic, comply with the approach. American 2546. American 2547, descend out to 3000 and maintain 250 knots.
Descend to 13,000, 250 knots, American 2547.
Altitude.
American 2547, contact approach control 121.2 today.
21-2, thanks, American 2547.
Control, Delta 387, give the Barrel 1 Papa 35.
Delta 387, good afternoon, rated contact via Peru 1 Papa 210,000, expect ILS into the runway.
Delta 387, right?
United 16 for 124.1.
24.1.
Westjet 2599, good afternoon, climb unrestricted to flight level 340.
Climb unrestricted, flight level 340, Westjet 2599.
May I have your attention, please? We will be landing shortly. Please turn off all portable electronic devices, stow tables, secure luggage, and loose articles. Return your seat to the upright and outboard position. Extend your headrest and fasten your lap belt and shoulder lines. After landing, please remain in your seat with your lap belt and shoulder lines securely fastened until the aircraft is
JetBlue 38. JetBlue 38 with you, 146, climbing flight level 180. JetBlue 38, flying to flight level 340, for naval flight direct to Bravo Tango Oscar. And climb to 340.
Altitude.
JetBlue 30, now contact control 14611. 241, JetBlue 30, JetBlue 38, thank you.
Reduce speed 200 knots.
200 knots, Delta 573.
Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike descent via the LP623 transition to 15,800 feet.
Descend to 15,800 feet via the LP623 transition. Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike.
Altimeter 3062 at El Alto International Contact Tower on 118.3. Enjoy your afternoon.
Wilco altimeter 3062 tower on 118.3. Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike. Tower citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike inbound for NAF approach runway 10.
Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike, good afternoon. Walk 5206, continue on up to runway 10, call when established on final.
Continue NAF to runway 10, will call when established on final. Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike.
10635, right, altimeter 3035, continue approach.
3035 for 5 right, United 1063.
Tower, American 501, 5 right.
American 501, buenas tardes, 5 right, altimeter 3035, continue approach.
Continue approach, American 501.
Yes, sir. Reduce minimum clean speed. Slow to minimum clean airspeed, Delta 481.
Takes 3 hammer charges.
Good afternoon, Tower American 2547, ILS to 25 right.
American 2547, good afternoon, runway 05 right, QNH 30.13. We should report again last time up below 500 feet, continue the approach 5 right.
Continue 5 right, American 2547.
Minimums.
I think he's been gone for a while, actually. Right after the Destiny 2 stuff. I don't think so, but he doesn't usually. He never does.
5 right, wind 140 degrees at 129.
Clear to land 5 right, American 547.
Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike winds are light and variable, clear to land runway 10.
Clear to land runway 10, citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike.
American 1053, back here runway via Delta on Alpha contact ground, 121.9er. Good day.
Delta on Alpha contact ground landing.
Minimums.
Bird 9er G3, cross runway Bravo, expedite crossing the runway on Alpha, contact ground control 121.9er.
Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike exit runway when able.
31, clear to cross, Bravo.
Just landed. That was my smoothest landing yet.
Delta 387, 5 mile final.
Delta 387,
Yeah,
wind,
yeah. It was.
0 degrees, 15 knots.
I credit the new rudder pedals.
07, clear to land, Delta 387.
Delta 900, now 080 degrees, 25, gusting 35.
Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike, clear of active.
Runway 07, cleared.
Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike, welcome to El Alto International Contact Ground on 121.9er. Have a good afternoon.
Ground on 121.9er, citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike.
Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike, request taxi to the gate.
Citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike, taxi to gate Papa 3 via taxiways Bravo.
Taxi to gate Papa 3 via taxiways Bravo, citation Foxtrot Charlie Mike.
Bye everybody, successful landing, very successful flight. Catch you later.